In this tutorial, we'll see how to use the PAC Control debugging tools to do some simulation with digital input and output points. From debug mode, you can inspect a point to see what its current state is. But what if you're running your strategy and you need to see if your digital output point can turn on a device, such as a pump, or turn on an LED? Let's take a look at how we can do this. Go to Config mode. Go into this delay block and add a turn off command to turn off a digital output that controls freezer light. If you don't have a learning center, just add a turn off command to a programming loop where it's repeatedly turning off a digital output point. Save, download, and run your strategy. Click on the Auto Step tool. Let's inspect one of the digital output points you configured, like the one that controls this red LED. Double-click the point in the strategy tree. Now expand the window. The Inspect window tells us the name of the point, the type, and its IVal and XVal state. The IVal is the internal value, what the software running in the controller, or the strategy, wants the point to do. The XVal is the external value, what the device is doing. Click on one of the arrows to toggle it to on and then click Apply. My red LED turns on and the XVal stays in the on state. Notice the IVal is still in the off state. That's because my strategy logic isn't affecting the state of that point. Go ahead and turn it off. Now, what happens if we inspect the freezer light point? Remember, we added some logic to turn off that point in this block. Change the XVal to on and click Apply. This time, the state doesn't stay on. That's because the logic is running through this loop and the freezer light point is always being turned off. Down here, we see the communication status for the point and the I/O unit. Disable the communication for the point and click Apply. The point's communication field turns red. Now the IVal and the XVal are disconnected. Toggle the XVal state to on and click Apply. The red LED stays on and the IVal, or the software, doesn't affect the point status. Let's reset the point back to normal. Enable the point and the IVal once again affects the point's XVal. Now let's see how we can force a digital input point on or off. By simulating the state of an input, we can test the logic flow of the software in our chart. Double-click the digital input point, freezer door. After expanding the Inspect window, notice how this time the Enable/Disable buttons are next to the IVal state. Try changing the IVal state to on. It quickly goes back to off. That's because the point is constantly being evaluated by the condition block. Let's disable the point and break the connection by changing the IVal. The logic flow changes direction and you can test the response of your strategy. When you're done, enable the point communication. As you can see, the ability to simulate conditions is a very powerful programming tool to test your hardware and your software.